Hi, it's your boy Daddy Odin back with another hero guide to help you with your struggles in Dota 2. If you like the content and what I do in this channel, do not forget to hit that subscribe button and make sure you pound the bell icon so you get notifications as soon as I upload any of the Dota 2 guides so that you can boost yourself in your MMR and reach new heights. Today, we'll be looking at how to play Clinkz. We'll be looking at how Polo5885 from the team Marty Chang Slayers, who's playing in the League of Legends Season 5 tournament, plays Clinkz. Clinkz is a strong laner who can dish out a lot of damage using searing arrows. Clinkz can also punish any kind of roaming or farming heroes who do not want to spend time in lane. Anytime the enemy player makes a rotation or is absent from the lane, make sure to exert pressure on the enemy hero. This does two things for you: forces the enemy mid laner or the enemy supports to make a rotation, and this will elevate the pressure from your other lanes. This will also ground the mid laner from ganking your side lanes, keeping your side lanes safe from any kind of ganks from a mid laner. If the enemy mid laner or the enemy supports do not respond or react to your aggressions on the tower, congratulations, you have taken the mid tower and have opened the map for your team to make smoke plays and invade the enemy jungle. You have two options: you can either farm the jungle or try to be aggressive if there is kill potential around the map. If there are squishy supports who don't have inbuilt stuns in their spells, then you can go and gank these supports to increase your net worth advantage. If there is no one like that on the enemy team and they are either tanky or they have built-in escape, make sure to try to assert pressure in other lanes on the other towers and farm the enemy side of the jungle. In this way, there will be increased map control. Now let us talk about itemization. The starting items include a raid mat, Iron Branch, a Observer Ward, Tangos from your supports. Sometimes people even get a Circlet and 2 Slippers of Agility. You can see Polo5885 picking up 2 Slippers of Agility, Circlet, a Fairy Fire in case there is a skirmish between the mid laner to him. Mid laner is Nature Prophet in this game. And this can give you extra 2 damage as well as plus 75 health burst in case of any kind of gank to turn the fight around. During the laning phase, make sure you ship out regen and mana regen. Regen is only required if you think you might need it in the lane. If you feel that the mid laner cannot harass you or has limited potential for them to harass, you, try to get only one healing pot just so that you can tank some of the damage and dish out more damage and outtrade the enemy mid laner. But you might have to get a lot of clarities or even make a soul ring as Polo5885 has made, so that you can get that extra mana and so that you can farm better and effective using your searing arrows. Make sure you get a Blightstone and then go for your power threads and other items. Blightstone really helps you to increase your ability to trade by removing 3 armor from your enemy mid laner. From here, you have 2 different routes you can choose. In this game, Polo5885 goes for the damage dealing build, which is the Deso into BKB into Nullifier into an MKB. The Nullifier is made essentially for the Wind Ranger who can go into evasion using Wind Run and make sure that the Clinkz doesn't hit anything. Polo5885 goes for the Nullifier so that the enemy is slowed and he has the ability to kill them before they run too far away from him. If the enemy team doesn't have any of these heroes and you are going this damage build of going power threads, Deso, BKB, which is very important for Clinkz, as the only time Clinkz might find himself being killed is when he is stun locked, and to alleviate this kind of problem you need a BKB. As long as you turn your BKB on, it will be really hard for the enemy team to kill you. After that, if the enemy team doesn't have heroes like Wind Ranger or someone who can, or Necrophos or something like that, who can use a spell to make sure that you don't dish out any damage, then you can change from the Nullifier and you can go for something like a Satanic or Scotty or Diffusal or Bloodthorn, depending on the game and what kind of heroes are your prime target to kill. The second type of build is my personal favorite, which is Power Threads, Medallion of Courage, Orchid, BKB, Bloodthorn, Scythe, Skadi, or Satanic. I like this build as this is a punisher for any of these elusive heroes like Storm Spirit or Shadow Shaman, Lion, who can lock you down when you go for these early ganks with your Orchid. This is really good for catching enemy heroes in the jungle who are spending their time to farm, especially if you are in the legend bracket or even in the Archon or Crusader. After the laning phase, it is the mentality of the safe lane carries to sit in the jungle and AFK farm and push. Sometimes they push the lanes so that the tower is not taken and tries to exert pressure on the tower. So when there are heroes like these, like Anti-Mage, Swen, or Faceless Void, who can either stun you or run away, getting this Orchid increases your chances of ganking the jungle of the enemy. The Orchid is my personal favorite, but if you're going against a tank lineup, Deso build might be a better choice, as even if you silence them, there might not be enough damage for you to do early on to get to that snowball lead that Clinkz needs. If you still go for the Orchid build and you feel like there is not enough damage, you have two options. You can either go for Deso so that you take towers faster in one strafe, or you can always upgrade your Bloodthorn so that you amp up your damage to do more damage to enemy heroes. Scythe is also a really good choice for Clinkz, as a lot of heroes make BKB or Manta to purge the Orchid and escape from you, making this Scythe can give you an advantage of initiating on these enemy cores. Or you can always use the Scythe in an effective defensive manner of silencing or making them or disabling them from using any spells. For example, if you are fighting against a Storm Spirit who doesn't have BKB and a Shadow Shaman is right next to him, you can always Orchid the Storm Spirit, Scythe the Shadow Shaman, or vice versa, and dish out damage for the Storm Spirit first so that he doesn't escape. Then you can turn towards the Shadow Shaman and kill him as well. Make sure you don't hunt too much in the enemy jungle and try to constantly pressure the towers and the lanes so that you increase your map control and free up space for your cores. Punish anyone who comes too far out of the base or is remotely alone, as Clinkz does a lot of damage. Make sure you are eating highest XP creeps. These are creeps such as the neutral creeps, which are Centaur, the purple Minotaur creep, or even the Siege card, which has 900 HP. A lot of people who play Clinkz and get the talent, which you should not avoid getting, is the talent at level 10, which gives you the ability to summon a skeleton when you exit skeleton walk. The skeleton has 1000 HP, which can give you a heal boost and a damage boost to turn fights around if you are found in the sour pickle and there is no other creeps around you to eat. Now let us talk about the skill build of how you can play Clinkz. For Clinkz, I would like to go 1-3-1, which is keeping 1 point in strafe, 3 points in your searing arrows, and 1 point in your skeleton walk. If the enemy has a lot of ability to get a gank on you or come in front of you and kill you, try to get 1 extra point in skeleton walk so that you can have extra movement speed and you can have a shorter CD on the skeleton walk so you can run around. At level 6, make sure you do not skip your ultimate, because the ultimate gives you a major power spike at that level 6 moment where you can eat the siege card or go eat a big creep from your jungle or eat the enemy siege card, pressure the tower of the enemy. At level 10, get the skeleton walk exit summons a skeleton, as the other talent is plus 1.75 mana regen, which is not that good. Getting this talent of skeleton walk exit with a summon a skeleton, this will help you deal more damage to heroes and gives you an opportunity to eat the skeleton when you are in trouble. Let's look at what each spell of Clinkz does. Strafe, which is his first spell, gives attack speed bonus and ranged evasion, which means that if a Wind Ranger focus fires you and you use Strafe, you will be taking 0 damage from Wind Ranger unless she has an MKB or Divine Rapier. Now let us look at the second spell of Clinkz. The second spell is Searing Arrows. Searing Arrows infuses Clinkz's arrow with the fire for extra damage. The extra damage works as a separate damage instance and counts as spell damage. So if your team has a Veil of Discord, this will increase the damage done from your searing arrows. But don't go ahead and make a Veil of Discord on Clinkz, as it is not that effective compared to the other items you can get like Deza and Orchid. Next we have Skeleton Walk grants Clinkz move speed bonus and invisibility. This is the spell you use to close the gap in the jungle and to hunt people in the jungle. That gives you the extra skeleton when you exit out of Skeleton Walk at level 10. Lastly, we have the ultimate of Clinkz, which is Death Pact grants Clinkz the ability to eat a creep, giving him more HP and damage based on the HP of the creep eaten. So make sure you're eating a big juicy creep. Now let us look at the talent tree. We already talked about at level 10 that Skeleton Walk Exit Summon a Burning Army Skeleton is really powerful compared to the 1.75 mana regen. I personally have never seen anyone who's playing Clinkz, especially from the mid-roll, go for the mana regen, as it is futile and it is so less significant compared to the Skeleton Walk Exit Summons a Skeleton. But at level 15 you have the option. Both these talents are good, but in my personal opinion, I feel like the minus 10 second Skeleton Walk cooldown is much more better than the plus 25 searing arrow damage. This is for two things. As a Clinkz, you like to reposition yourself multiple times, using your Skeleton Walk giving you the move speed to go around the people and go to the back line and come to the front line and fight at the same time. But plus, if you get the minus 10 second Skeleton Walk CD, you're essentially shortening your CD of the Skeleton Walk, and this means that every time you exit Skeleton Walk, one of the Burning Army Skeletons is summoned, and each of the Burning Army Skeletons does the same damage as you. So when you do the math, you're actually getting more damage from going this minus 10 second Skeleton Walk than compared to the plus 25 searing arrow damage. At level 20 talent, the kill reset Death Pact CD is a bit of an overkill. As a Clinkz, you suffer from mana. You have a lot of mana problems, and getting this talent is shooting yourself in the foot. Make sure you get the plus 125 attack range so that you have enough attack range to kill people who are running away from you. This is really helpful if you don't have any kind of certain lockdown or slow that is built and you skip the nullifier. Then this plus 125 attack range helps you to kill people by the time they leave. At level 25 talent, this is a choice based on how your game is going. Most of the times Clinkz will go ahead and get the searing arrow multi-shot, but if your BKB is on low CD and there are multiple blade mails on the enemy team and you don't want to kill yourself when you're playing Clinkz, you might want to avoid getting this multi-shot talent. But getting this multi-shot talent will help you take racks and towers very fast. On the other side, we have Death Pact, gives you plus 50 health and 5% damage upgrade on your ult. When the math is done, Searing Arrows multi-shot does give you more damage compared to the other side of this level 25 talent. But if there are a lot of blade mills on the enemy team, getting the other side is not that detrimental compared to his other talents. Now let us talk about the power spikes of Clinkz and when you should be getting aggressive on this hero. Clinkz has a power spike at all the ult upgrades, so level 6, level 12 and level 18 of Clinkz are really big power spikes for him. Level 6 is mostly a power spike for him during laning phase, but level 12 and level 18, which are the level 2 and level 3 of his Death Pact, are his strongest power spikes in the game. Hence make sure you're getting your XP from the creeps even while actively hunting enemies on the map. And make sure you get that first big item, which is the Orchid or Deso, around the level 2 of Death Pact so that you have this immense power spike. The other type of power spike, as we were briefly talking, was through items like Orchid and Deso. Orchid opens new heroes for Clinkz to hunt in the jungle, especially the safe laners who are farming in the jungle. Feel free to get an observer and sentry to place in the deep side of the enemy jungle to see any kind of rotations coming in the jungle or the enemy core farming in the jungle so that you can go for a clear cut gank on the enemy hero. To summarize this, the big power spike for Clinkz is around the 13 to 15 minute mark when you either get the Medallion Orchid with your level 2 Death Pact, or you get the Deso level 2 death pack, as you will be doing overwhelming damage and no core at that point will be able to out hit you or turn it around on you, as you will kill them in the strafe moment. Well, that's all for the Clinkz hero guide. If you guys want more hero guides or different styles of guides, please make sure you comment in that comment section and let me know how else you want these guides to be done. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to hit the like button so that YouTube recognizes the video and it populates onto the top results. My name is Daddy Odin, and I'm out.